Yesterday, the San Antonio Spurs defeated the Miami Heat 136 to 111. This was a game where Victor Wembanyama shut down the modern day Wilt Chamberlain in Bam Adebayo. For those of you who think I'm serious, I'm just joking. Decided to throw that out there. In this game, Victor shut down Bam. Bam shot 5 of 17 from the field, and he had only 18 points in that game. So he struggled pretty badly whenever Victor was matched up on him. And I felt Victor was sending a message in this game that he should be Defensive Player of the Year. But it went beyond even that. When you hear what Victor said after the game during his press conference, and a reporter asked him about his desire to win the MVP. And here's what he said. I've thought about it. I think right now there's a debate. There should be, even though I think I should lead the race. I'm trying to make sure that at the end of the season, there's no debate. And here's what he said when it came to the reasons why he should win the MVP. My first one would be that defense is 50% of the game and that it is undervalued so far in the MVP race. I believe I'm the most impactful player defensively in the league. Second argument would be that we almost swept OKC in the season, and we dominated them 3 times with their real team. The third argument would be that offense impacts is not just points. And that was pretty much what he said. So I found it pretty interesting for him to make that proclamation. Very few guys openly say that they deserve the MVP and basically that they're the best player in the league. That's what Victor said. So I do think he makes some good points on why he should win the MVP. He's definitely right about defense being undervalued in the league. I think defense has always been undervalued in the NBA when it came to the MVP voting. If we're being honest, they always value offense even more. And I think that was one of the main reasons why Tim Duncan got hated for those 2 MVPs he won. Not only did he beat popular people like Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett, but because he wasn't scoring a ton of points, he was scoring around 23 to 25 points a game during those 2 years he won the MVP, that people lambasted him for not dominating even more on the offensive end without factoring in how much he was dominating on the defensive end. And if you're being honest, Tim probably could have won Defensive Player of the Year during the time he was winning the MVPs, but they just wouldn't give it to him. So I definitely agree with Victor. Defense does not get factored in when it comes to the MVP. Heck, I can make the argument that Kawhi Leonard should have won the MVP way back in 2017 over Russell Westbrook. I always thought it was stupid how Russ got picked over him. I felt that was MVP Russ stole from Kawhi because nobody was factoring how dominant Kawhi was on both ends of the court. All they were just factoring in like, oh, wow, Russell Westbrook got a triple-double. We got to give him a triple-double even though his team is shitty and is like a low seed and it's not going to do anything, which I thought was terrible. They didn't factor in the winning in that regard. So he is right about that. And he is also right about his offensive impact, that it's not just scoring. His center of gravity is ridiculous with how teams have to double him or just pack the paint just for him. That leaves other guys open for threes or the ability to get an easy layup or a dunk just off of his center of gravity. So he's absolutely right about it, even though his scoring is pretty good. I think he's averaging around like 25 points a game. So that's not bad. Granted, there are guys who are scoring like 30 a game in SGA and Luka, and I know people are obsessed with that, but Victor, from what I checked, is averaging 24.3 points per game, which is pretty good. But I guess for some people who are obsessed with scoring, it's not going to be good enough. But I thought the biggest thing out of this proclamation was just him mentioning how the Spurs have owned the Thunder all year. That shows to me that he is supremely confident that he's going to take out the Thunder if the Spurs meet them up in the playoffs, that he's issued that statement knowing that the Thunder are going to hear about this and the Thunder will react accordingly, and he's all about that smoke. That shows that he has no fear and he just believes that when he's at his best, there's nothing that the Thunder can do about him. And he could be right. He so far during the regular season, he's proven that. Obviously, the playoffs are a different animal. Things can be different during the playoffs. I've seen teams get owned during the regular season and still win against a team that owned them during the playoffs. So I'm not guaranteeing anything yet. So that definitely will be interesting. But he definitely wants that smoke. That's one thing I would say. Very few guys have that fearlessness that Victor has. It's like he's not scared to fail, and it will definitely be interesting. If he succeeds, he's going to look really good simply because he backed up his talk. If he fails, definitely a bunch of people will come after him. But as weird as it sounds, I don't think Victor cares about people coming after him even if he fails. That he has this confidence that he can overcome anything. And maybe that has to do with that near-death experience he had with the blood clots, that he just doesn't fear anything anymore. That could be it, but he definitely has that arrogance that he's unstoppable, which it seems like he probably is right now. We'll have to see what teams do during the playoffs to guard him, but I think it's going to be interesting. I'm biased. I do think he deserves the MVP, but if SGA gets it, I can't hate on that either, simply because the Thunder have had a lot of injuries this season, and SGA is still carrying them. Even when they sit out Chet and Jalen Williams in some of these games, they're still winning with SGA being the lead guy. And to me, SGA is the most clutch player in the league from what I've seen all year. That OKC has won games they shouldn't have won simply because of SGA's clutchness. So I can't hold anything against him if he wins it, because they have the best record. And when you have the best record and you're putting up great stats like SGA, he's putting up Michael Jordan-like stats. It's very hard to hate, but I think Victor also has a great case too. I would be biased to give it to Victor. That you look at the turnaround the Spurs are having this year. I think last year they won 38 games. They are projected right now to win at least 60. So they won over like 22. They're going to win over 22 more games than they did last year, which is a ridiculous turnaround. Whereas OKC won 60-some games last year. I don't think there was a turnaround. All they did was just maintain their elite level of play, which is nothing to sneeze at, I would say. But you also have to look at the turnaround Victor has done, and you also had to factor in that Victor can dominate both ends of the court in no way that any other player in the league currently can do. So I think it's going to be very close when it comes to who determines who wins the MVP. It might be one of the closest MVP votes in a very, very long time. But I don't have anything else to say about this.